好，那现在线上的同学就麻烦您停留在线上，我们进行下一场的说明会。那就是也再一次欢迎大家来参加我们今天的 European Study Talk 留学欧洲说明会。那这个活动是由我们在台官方单位联合举办，从去年9月一直进行到2月份，今年的2月份，整个系列我们超过了50多所的这个欧洲知名学校、高等校院来进行这个留学欧洲线上说明会，国家包括了有德国、英国、法国、比利时、荷兰、瑞士、瑞典以及意大利等专业的这个知名的高等校院，他们来接力的为台湾学生你的留学计划来指点迷津。那学校除了商管学院、资讯学院，更有著名的理工、设计、饭店管理、观光、医学系等知名院校的加入，那他们都要提供给你最新的课程资讯、学校资讯，以及还有申请流程，甚至像奖学金，以及还有毕后在当地的这个工作以及创业的经验，还有资讯的分享。那你一定可以收集到你所需要的申请学校的这些资讯，来帮助你的准备申请。那今晚的留学欧洲部署未来下一场是要带给大家的是法国的蒙彼利埃商业学校。那这个学校呢，是一所极具包容性跟责任感的国际化这个精英管理学院，他们主旨就是在帮助拥有这个具有商业才能的人，可以成为在公司经济转型中具有责任感的领导者，就是要成为一个领导者。那同时呢，这个 MBS 他们在法国也是拥有3重这个国际权威的认证以及还有证照。那他们占全球商学院的1%，同时拥有很多的这个国际认证。那 MBS 基于这个当前这个商业市场的现况呢，他们开设了一套完整的这个商业管理的课程。那有的校友说，在 MBS 上课的感想就是一边在上顶级的商业课程，同时又享受了这个度假的风情。所以 MBS 非常适合喜欢有平衡这个生活的学生来这边朝圣。我们待会就赶紧来听听法国 MBS 蒙特利埃高等商业学院的介绍，以及还有来听听看如何可以帮助你部署你自己的未来，以及强化你的专业跟人脉。当然还要请他们解说我们国际学生的留学以及职涯之路。那请各位在听完之后呢，将你的问题依照你自己的状况打在我们的 Q&A 的栏位当中。那我们待会就请校代以及还有学姐这个校友来帮我们做经验分享。好，那我们现在就邀请这个学校的老师来帮我们做演讲，大家请稍待一下。
Bonjour everyone, welcome to this session where we're going to talk about MBS, Montpellier Business School, how to choose your business school in France. I'm happy to introduce myself. I'm Judith, one of the admissions counselor at MBS, and I'm also an alumni of the school. I graduated a few years ago now from the Master in Management in 2015. I've been working as an admission counselor since, and I'm here today with one of our special guests, one of our student ambassadors. Would you like to introduce yourself, please?
Hello everyone, my name is Cui Li. I'm from Taiwan. I was studying French when I'm in a university for 4 years, and in the 3rd year of my college, I do a exchange program to one of a small my future path, what I wanted to do. And for that reason, in my master, I choose to come to France to study my master, to continue my academy path.
Okay, thank you so much for explaining. So today we're going to cover several topics. So we're going to ask ourselves, why is it important for us to wondering why studying business? What are we going to learn? Which way? Because in France and in different schools, it's a different way of teaching. Also, how to do your research? What should we take into consideration when making our choice? Which location? Here you chose a school based in France, so we're going to talk about France, of course. Which school as well, and what are the programs available? And also we're going to look into the different programs that we have available and the admissions requirements. So first of all, it's important for us to ask ourselves why we wish to pursue our studies and why continuing with business studies. For instance, here you mentioned that you studied French before. Why did you decide to go for business and why in France?
For why in France? Because as I mentioned, I studied this language, and also I lived here before for 1 year. And during that year, I really like this country and all the atmosphere and how people are going. So that is, I really like here. And for the business school, because since senior high school, I've always have a big interest in cosmetic and beauty, luxury, and also that's the second reason why I choose France. And to pursue my kind of dream, so I decided to come to France, which is really famous for this kind of industry. And also, I plan to work here in Europe. So that's why I choose France and also the business school here.
Okay, thank you so much. So we're going to see as well that it's important to understand what are we going to learn and which way. You'll see that here in France and in the business schools in general, you will discover what we call hard skills, where you're going to have some topics related to the field of studies, but also soft skills such as communication, leadership, creativity. You're going to discover a way of learning called learning by doing, where you're going to be doing a lot of group work as well. You're going to be an actor of your education, where you're going to learn. You're going to have a lot of academic projects, and the goal of those topics is always for you to get ready for the professional world. Sui, do you have like an example of topic that you really like? Maybe that you enjoyed during the first semester, or that you're discovering this semester?
Yes, actually from the last semester, there was one topic that I really liked was the entrepreneurship one. In that courses, we can design our own business plan, and we have to come up a business canvas model, and you have to come up all the process that you wanted to do. You need to present the pitch of your business proposal. So in that course, you really brainstorm what you want to do in the future, and also you can experience how to work in a team. And then when you're pitching your idea, you can really know that from zero, and you can come up with one complete business model within 4 courses. So that's one of the courses I like. And for this semester, we have wine management, which I find really interesting because during these courses, we will know how the wine being processed and what is important during the procession. And not only about this, we also have a field trip in this course, which means we can go to a vineyard, we can taste the wine, and also know really the process in person.
Great, that sounds like a nice experience. Okay, when considering a business school as well, when choosing one, it's important to do your research. So students would usually ask counselors from schools, but also to people that know you. It's important as well to ask some ambassadors like to here, but also we have a pool of ambassadors that will be happy to guide you and advise you as well. And it's important as well to have some feedback about former students to know how was the experience as a student at MBS. Also, when you do your research online, you'll see that MBS is highly ranked. It's also a Triple Crown institution with ACSB, MBA, and EQUIS, which enable us to be highly ranked at an international scale. And we are part of what we call the Conférence des Grandes Écoles, which is like the Ivy League for France. Also, it's important for you guys to attend information session like today and to make sure that you have all the information you need. Sui, how did you find MBS? And how did you manage to find the information you needed? Any tip for a student?
When I was searching for the business school, I compared to several of them, and actually I was working with one of the agency which can help students to search for your masters. So back then I was with them, and they provided me a lot of information. And actually, you just need to go online and you click on the program that you are interested in. And during that page, you can find all the information you needed, like the syllabus or everything, the link, and when you need to apply for, and what documents you need to upload. So everything is really clear from the page.
Okay, fantastic. And even before applying, you knew that you wanted France anyway as a destination, right? As you had this project of going to France. Okay, great.
Yes.
So, well, I'm coming to this point. Why considering France? To already mention several elements, and I'm going to give you some other elements. You have to know that France is recognized at an international scale for its quality of higher education. So your degree will be recognized not only in France, but also in your country, and at an international scale because of the renowned institution we are. Also, France is a world-class economic power with a lot of professional opportunities. You will meet different types of people as well for job opportunities, for instance. France has a pleasant, fulfilling living environment. The French language, too, you learned the language a few years ago as you studied French, so you had some steps in it. I'm not sure everyone studied French here, but we never know. It's good to start. But you'll see that when you come to France and to MBS, you will have 28 hours of French when you start, and then all along the year. For those who are not really comfortable with the French, which is usually the case of most international students who never studied French. And also, France is an appealing destination for international students. Would you like to tell us what nationalities have you met, besides French, of course?
In MBS, there are a lot of students from different countries. For example, in my class, there are students from Lebanon, from India, from China, and also a lot of students from another European countries, Germany, Dutch. You can meet really every different people from everywhere.
Awesome. So it's important as well when you look at France, you discover several advantages, not only at MBS, but for France in general, the country. You will have what we call the stay back option available for students from master degree. So for Master in Management and MSc, you will be able to stay up to 1 year after you graduate to look for a job, and 2 years for Indian students, but here that's not the case. Also, we have scholarship up to 2,000 euros granted on tuition fees, depending on your admission results. You have to know as well that France has a strong and really nice free social security system. The healthcare system is one of the best in the world, especially during this season of flu and pandemic and everything. It's nice to know that you can be taken care of as an international student at costs that are affordable, meaning here free. And also the financial housing allowance. Sui, have you yourself experienced going to the doctor here in France? I hope you haven't, but we never know.
Yes, I did. I think it was last year I had a serious flu, and to apply for to make an appointment with the doctor, you just need to simply download an application, which is Dr. Leap. You go there and you open the application, you search the kind of disease you have or that kind of category doctors you want to visit. You just need to search it, and you will show a list of doctors. You select one, and which is the most suitable for you, and there will be a timetable. Everything is very visible and very clear. So you just need to go through that process. You make an appointment, and then you just go there at that time to see a doctor. Everything will be fine. And if you have the carte vitale, which is like the healthy card in France, so which will provide you the reimbursement.
Fantastic. Thank you for explaining. And also students will benefit from what we call the financial housing allowance, the CAF. Can you tell us about it? Do you benefit from it?
Yes. Now I am living in a private student residence, and I apply for my CAF in the first month, and it's really important. You have to apply that as soon as possible because there are a lot of international students in Montpellier, so there will be a long process. So you apply in the first month when you arrive in that residence, and then they will give you from the second month. So you will receive amount of that money. So that, for example, for me, my rent is like 600, but from GAF I can balance to maybe 400. So it was really profitable for the international students.
Fantastic. What we have to know is that all international students, as long as you are a student, French or international, you can benefit from it. It's true that in France we have a lot of process, we like paperwork, etc. But you will manage, and we have a team in charge of helping you if needed as well. And as you are with all international students, you can share the tips for sure. So now I'm going to talk about Montpellier. Montpellier is the name of the city. Some pronounce Montpellier, but we don't pronounce the T usually. So Montpellier is the name of the city, and it's one of the best student cities in France by, well, the rankings say it, not just me. Why choosing Montpellier? Well, it's a student city, so the cost of living is cheaper than Paris. Paris is really nice, but it can be quite expensive, especially as a student. Also, it's important for you to experience the student vibe that you can find in a student city. You'll see that Montpellier is quite dynamic. And in terms of budget, I would say that usually for a studio and apartment, it's between 400 to 600. Sorry, transportation 30 euros a month, and expenses 200 to 300 a month. What do you like about Montpellier? What can you tell us?
Montpellier is really convenient, and also the price here is not very high as compared to Paris, so you can enjoy a good life but with a lower money spending. And also why I like here is because, as I mentioned, Montpellier is a city full of international students. So in here you can experience different culture, you can make friends with people from different countries. And also Montpellier, in a city center, you can find everything you need for bank, for the restaurants, for bars, everything you can enjoy there. And not just the city center. If you take the tram a little bit from like 10 minutes, you can reach an area which have beautiful rivers and a good like parks. So everything you can do in Montpellier is really fantastic.
Yeah, thank you so much for explaining. Usually students love Montpellier as there is a really nice vibe. So now we're going to talk about the different programs that we have available. We have the bachelor program, which is post-high school. Then we have the master in management after bachelor. And we have the master of science, which is the program that Sue is enrolled in. So she'll be able to talk about it after. So now I'm going to talk about the bachelor program. What you have to know is that in France, bachelor program are 3 years and master program are 2 years. The idea is to get to 5 years of higher studies. So if you have studied 3 years of bachelor, we will ask you to do 2 years of higher studies. And if you have studied 4 years of bachelor, you can do a 1-year program, like I believe it's your case. You will explain after. So the bachelor program at MBS is a 3-year program. The idea is that you will discover the learning by doing method that I was mentioning about. Also, you will have the possibility to go on exchange programs, to do internships each year, and you'll see that we have different tracks available, some that include to go abroad, in addition to France for you, which is abroad already, abroad, I would say, with one of our partners universities. So it's a 3-year program, including being in Montpellier, but also academic exchange if you wish, or stay in MBS, do some internships. So, I mean, it's quite diverse, I would say. So regarding the admission requirement for the bachelor program, it's the application online with the resume, transcript, and higher degree, a reasoning test online for free that you can take with us, an English test online, except if you have an IELTS, TOEIC, or TOEFL, and finally, an interview. So for this process, we'll be happy to assess you, to help you, and to advise you as your counselors as well. Then we have the master in management. So same here for the fact that we guide you if you are hesitating about the program or wish to be in contact with one of our students. We'll happily do that as well from this program or from the same country that you are from, sorry. So the master in management is a general program. It's a 2-year program where you will be learning by doing, same as the bachelor and the MSc. Possibility to go on exchange program as well, and the possibility to do internships each year. So this is a program that I graduated from a few years ago. I really enjoyed it. That's why I'm here today as well. So I'm going now to talk about the admission requirement for the MIM, same as for the bachelor. Application online, reasoning test online. If you have a GRE or GMAT, we'll take it. If you don't have it, it's okay. You can just take our reasoning test for free. Then the English test online and the final interview. And now we're going to talk about the MSc. So as mentioned before, if you've done a 3-year bachelor, you'll be eligible for a 2-year MSc to get to 5 years of higher studies. And if you've done a 4-year bachelor, you'll be eligible for a 1-year MSc. So the 2-year MSc is 25,000 euros per program, and the 1-year MSc is 16,000 euros per program. So here are the different programs that we have available. We have different families, if I can call that. So we have some in finance. Here we require the students to have some background in finance, the marketing ones, and I know too we'll talk about it just after, the business and strategy, and the management. What's to know is that each year is built like this, from September to May in class, then 4 to 6 months of professional experience with a lot of group work. Two, what can you tell us about your program, I believe, which is MSc Luxury Marketing in a Sustainable World? You mentioned already that you enjoyed the entrepreneurial project. Can you tell us about the topics related to luxury, well, wine management, but also the others?
Okay, in my case, I applied. Actually, in my case, my program was PGE2 because I studied 4 years college in Taiwan, so I applied PGE2 for the master. And in the second year of PGE2, you can choose that if you want to do a continuous semester or you want to do a double degree. So I'm doing a double degree now with the MSc, the marketing one. So in this case, because the PG program is for the students like me who doesn't have any business related foundation, so which is really good for people like us because they will really teach you from the basic knowledge. You don't need to worry about you cannot catch up or something. And after the first year, you build up your foundation, every business knowledge, you can choose what you want to focus on. So I really like marketing, so I choose the luxury marketing in the sustainable world because it really matched my interest. I like luxury, I like beauty industry, so that is why I am now doing a double degree with MSc.
Okay, so you're also MIM student, got it. Can you tell us then about the first year of the MIM? How was it for you? You mentioned that you enjoyed marketing, so that's why you specialized. But what were the other topics that you had during that program of MIM?
In MIM, we will study everything. So from the marketing to finance and to management, we will study everything from the zero, which will help you better select what your interest in the second year. So the first year is really important to every student because you need to know that what is your strength and what can you do better in different kind of courses. So in the first courses, we have that at first, and then the second semester we have the electives, which are more specific ones. So they have divided like to 6 or 8 electives. So you can select the 4th you're most interested in, so that you can know that from the learning you can know what if you really like this project or not, so that you can make a better decision in the second year.
Great. And then you decided to go for the MSc in luxury marketing. Fantastic.
Yes.
So now we're going to talk about the admission requirement for the MSc. So first of all, it's an application online, then an English test online, and a final interview with one of our professors. So too, you did the MIM admission. Do you remember how it went for you? Well, it was now a year and a half ago, maybe even 2 years. Do you have a tip for a student who wish to maximize their chances of admission at MBS, if you remember how it went for you? Well, you're here, so
I remember it was in April or May. It depends on when is the enroll open. And after you would submit your application, I receive from the reply from MBS, so they will tell you what is the next steps. So for me, it was to the interview part, and because of the pandemic, the interview was totally online, and the interview was like a recording kind of interview. So they will provide you already recorded questions, so you need to prepare, and you click on the record, and they will report your reply. And before that, I think it's better to have some bullet point about yourself. For example, for the background or what is your strength about. You can list what do you think you're better in, and just speak more detail as possible, because even though there's a limitation of the time, but if you present yourself well and you really know what is your strength and you know about yourself and what do you want to do in MBS and what do you think MBS can bring you, that is the most important part in the interview, because in the interview they want to know what is your passion and what do you think you are capable to do in the future.
Thank you so much for those nice advice, and I know that students will take this into account. Hopefully this helps them to come here. So we are done with the presentation. Thank you so much, Sue. Do you have a final word that you would like to tell to the students from your country of origin? Even in your language, if you wish.
Huh?
Even in your language, if you wish. Yeah.
No, it's okay. I feel like if you really want to study in France, it's really, really a good experience, because in Europe, the living, no matter the lifestyle or the kitchen way in the different country, it really opens your mind and can change your personality and also open your career path, because you can meet a lot of different people from every country. So you can interact with different cultures, and you know how the world work, and it really strengthens and to build up your confidence as well, because you will have to pitch yourself in front of maybe 20 people or something. So I really enjoy my study in MBS and also the living style in Montpellier.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Sue, for your time and your experience. Thank you, everyone. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out during the Q&A session with Sue and my colleague, Karia, who will be happy to answer the questions that you have. Take care. Au revoir.
Thank you, au revoir.
Oh, now, okay, now, so that's welcome, Karia, and also our alumni, Sue. Welcome.
Hi everyone, bonjour, hello.
You are exactly the same as Sue on the video as well. Okay, yeah, thanks for great information, and also looks like the program is very informative and also full of life experiences and very, very active program. Yeah, we do have some question here, so I'll just read it out, and maybe you guys can give us some ideas and answers. Okay, first one, I guess the student is asking, does the master program of maybe the business course require working experiences before they applying for it?
Okay, I'll take this question. So for the Master in Management program and both the MSc programs, we do not require work experience for students coming from abroad. Although if you have work experience, we appreciate it as part of your application. And of course, as part of that as well, during the interview, you can explain more about what you've done before, but we do not require work experience. So even if you haven't had any internships or anything professional after your studies, it's not a problem to apply.
Okay, so my maybe the extent question maybe to Xu right here. So you mentioned about your first year was studying for different program, but the second year you changed to MSc marketing. So does that mean because you don't have any working experiences or in Taiwan when you are studying for the college or university? So that's why you choose the path like the first year is that, and then the second year is different.
For this question, actually, in my university, I will study French, so language completely nothing to do with business. So that's why I choose MBS, of course, and especially the PG program. That's for students who doesn't have any related business experience, but you want to major in business. So then I choose this path, and then second year I was like, now I'm doing the double degree. So I'm doing that master in management and as well as the luxury marketing.
Wow.
And for the working experience part, like I have no working experience apart, but I do have some internship experience, but not very long. So even you don't have any working experience, it's not at all an issue.
Okay, thank you. So Korea, so in MBS, does this university or institute can help the student to find maybe the internship, or are there any this type of opportunity?
Yes, so at MBS we have a career center. So that means there's a team of professionals in HR and human resources. And each student will be assigned their own career counselor. So that means that there will be someone to help them, let's say, prepare for interviews, fix their CVs, let's say, to adapt it to a more European or a French job market opportunity. The Career Center, they also have several events and activities throughout the year, like job fairs, let's say job dating, job matching opportunities for students and companies. They also invite different speakers and alumni as well of the school to talk about their experiences in looking for jobs and actually finding jobs and what they currently do. So we have a career center that will provide all the tools and assistance to help students find an internship and later on a more permanent position after graduation. Maybe she can also talk about her internship experience if she's already had one while in Montpellier.
Yes, last year to finish the first year, you have to do an 4 to 6 month internship, and to be really honest, it was kind of struggle to find internship for foreign students, especially you don't speak perfect French. But in the end, I found one like remotely. The company was based in UK, and you can work remotely, and as like you can have a more flexible schedule, but you can also earn your working experience in this way. So I don't think finding an internship will be that hard in France, but of course, first, if you have like you attend every workshop provided by MBS Career Center, they will show how you need to write your CV and also for your cover letters. And after all this, all your process will be easier.
Sounds great. Yeah, so the next question is asking, what's the graduate ethic requirement? Maybe this student is asking for she's the life experience. Is it examination only, or you have to submit the dissertation paper?
Okay,
It depends on the program, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
For example, yeah, go ahead. You can share experience with that one.
Okay, for me, since I'm both in PG and MSc, so I have to both pass the TOEIC exam, and then you have to submit your thesis as well.
Of course, there will be exams. There are also a lot of group projects. So to pass the course, it will be an overall evaluation of all the things that you've done during the year or the semester, not just tests, not just exams, and not just presentations, but it will be everything that will be taken into account to give your final grade for the exam. For the semester or for the year. Then, like what Sri said, for the MSc, there will be a thesis that you will need to present and defend at the end of the year before you can graduate, but only for the MSc.
Right. So for the MSc, does that mean the course is maybe it's more like the project based, and then everybody have to work in the small group, or you just have to do your own maybe research or laboratory, do the experiment? Yeah.
Okay. I'll take the first part. So like what was discussed during the webinar that my colleague Judith explained earlier. So it's learning by doing. So there will be lectures, of course, but there will be a lot of like group work, case studies, participations in presentations, and the defense of your projects and things like that. But of course, there will also be tests and exams. And maybe you can also explain a bit for the MIM and the MSc, what you have been doing.
For both the programs, they are a lot of group projects, because in business school, you have to learn how to interact with people. You have to know how to face when you're facing a different culture. So group project is a really important part in MBS. And apart from the group project, you also have like the individual one. So sometimes the class will be in individual, like the report, sometimes will be in group project. but mostly is in group project.
So are there like lots of reading lists that you have to read before the class? The reading list.
Yes, we have a place called Moodle, so you can find a lot of teaching materials there. And I think most of the course you need to read some articles before attending the class. And also you have a lot of e-learning. So apart from like the main course, you also have to learn it by yourself.
Cool. So I think I feel like this part, the audience from Taiwan, they are not, not very new to them. It's very familiar in Taiwan and doing right now. Yeah. Okay, next question is asking about what kind of the question will be asked in the interview. Maybe we can have the career, from the official first, and then second, we can listen from the experienced one. Okay.
So for the interview, again, for the bachelor level and the MIM, it will be a pre-recorded video interview. So it's around like between 30 minutes. There will be a set of questions flashed on screen. Then you will have 1 minute for each question to answer. So some questions, it's actually mostly about yourself. So it's good to know your reasons for applying to the school, why France, why MBS, and why the specific program you've chosen. Some other questions will be, let's say, about your experience in working in teams, or if there have been any challenges during your academic life and how you were able to overcome them. Let's say some questions are also a bit more personal. Let's say, who is your idol and why are the reasons behind choosing this person? Or let's say some questions, for example, put you in specific situations. Let's say you're working in a team and you have a difficult decision to make. What are the steps that you will take to reach a decision that will have everyone in the team agree with you? Something like that. So personal questions, something about your background, and as well as situational questions where you will be expected to give an answer.
How about she?
For the interview part, I think you don't need to be too panicked because you can record the video when you are ready. So, and you can also have a small paper beside you. You can write down some bullet point of what you want to say, what you want to mention in all this interview. So you just need to follow your structure. So, and then when you think you're ready, you just press the record button and you just start talking for 1 minute. It's not like something really stressful or you need to be worried about. So the interview process is quite like easy. And also you can, during the process, the most important thing is to express yourself. The school wants to know what kind of person you are and what can you bring to the school, or what do you want to learn from the school. So it's basically about what is all about you.
Great. So yeah, no need to panic, and then you can always start when you are ready, and then just press the button to start. Yeah. Okay, Carrie, I think I would like to ask what kind of the process or procedure or requirement for the maybe senior high school in Taiwan, they would like to apply for bachelor BA courses in your MBS. What kind of the requirement they need to prepare or document? Yeah.
Okay. So for the bachelor's in international business administration, the applications are already open until mid-June for international students. So everything is done online. They just have to sign up to our platform, which you can find. I put the link of our website on the chat in the chat box. So you just have to sign up and apply for the through the platform. Then you will have to be in senior high school already to apply for the bachelor's degree. You will have to upload certain documents. Let's say your CV, your passport, the copy of your grades from high school, and a proof that you will be graduating on time.
Yeah.
Then after that, if you already have English test results like the IELTS or the TOEFL, you can upload those as well. Otherwise, you can take the free MBS English test. The link to that test will be sent to you later on after you submit your application. Then, as mentioned earlier, there will be the online logic and reasoning test. If you're familiar with the GMAT or the GRE, it's something similar but a lot easier and shorter than the GMAT and the GRE. And then after that, you'll also be sent the link to the pre-recorded video interview platform. After you submit your application, you will also be asked to pay 90 euros for the application fee, unless you're coming from one of our partner agencies in Taiwan. We can provide you with the list later on. Then, let's say between 2 to 4 weeks, you will receive the result of your application.
Really sounds pretty straightforward and quite easy to apply. So, for what was the question? I that was in my mind. I forgot. And
it's okay.
Yeah, it was something to ask Xu about that. Give me 1 minute, a few seconds. What was the question? I forgot. I really forgot.
It's okay.
Oh, that was already. Yeah. I guess that was the question I want to ask. It's gone. Sorry about that. So for maybe are there any other suggestion? Maybe, oh yeah, coming back already. The time frame for application. Yeah. What's the time frame for application, or what's the best suggestion? Yeah.
So like what I said, the application session has already started. This is for the September 2023 intake. It will close in around mid-June. And we encourage applicants to complete their applications as soon as possible, so they will get the results within, let's say, between 2 weeks to 1 month after they submit and after they take all the tests that are required as part of the application. We encourage them to submit early so that they will have enough time to apply for their French student visa. It can take a long time. It depends on how many applications the consulate is processing. So as early as possible, both for the online application to MBS and after that for your student visa application. So you won't be panicked that it's already July, you still don't have anything ready. That's why we encourage applicants to complete their applications early.
Yeah, okay, thank you. So, and also earlier in the presentation that was mentioned about the MBS is also offering the free French course when the students study in the school.
Yes.
Is that for open for bachelor BA program and also master program also?
Yes, that's correct. So part of all programs will include French classes for international students, maybe like once or twice a week, for those who don't speak French yet. Maybe you can also talk about this, but you've already known French before coming to MBS, so I'm not so sure if you were able to take the French classes that MBS offers to international students.
In my case, I don't have the French class, unfortunately. Maybe it's because I have the DELF test already.
That's true, yeah.
But my classmates who doesn't speak good French, they all have French lessons. So it's like 2 times per week, and you will be divided according to your level. So you will not to worry that you will not understand what your classmates, what your professor is talking about. So it's all good.
So maybe Franchi, would you recommend for the student from Taiwan if they should maybe have the minimum French, in languages before they go to France?
For this part, like I will recommend they know a little bit French at least, because not only in school, in daily life, normal back at the supermarket, they don't really speak English that well. And if you know a little bit French, will be easier in your life. So for the school part, there will not be no issue, but for your daily life, they might cause some problem if you know zero French.
Right.
And also maybe to add to that, I agree, because I'm not French. I'm originally from Manila in the Philippines. But I was also an international student in France, but I knew French before going. In school, it's not a problem because your classmates, your professors will speak in English. Your courses will be in English. But for daily life, it's definitely easier to learn French. Even just, basic greetings and simple sentences to start. And once you're here, since most people speak French, you will develop the ear for it very quickly. And also maybe if you want to find an internship in France or work in France later on, it's definitely an advantage, though again, not a requirement. It's definitely an advantage if you know French, if you want to build your career here in France.
Great, that sounds a good plan, and also, it's always good to have, and also not to worry, because the university MBS is already there and prepared to help the student on this part. So that's great. It sounds great. So thanks to Xu. Yeah, you're helping to us and to find a quiet place. Thank you for that. Yeah, and thanks to Kara for giving us a great information tonight. Thanks for both of you for good sharing for tonight. Thanks. Do you have anything to add before we close?
I think that's it. Thank you for thanks for everyone's time today. Thank you for the invitation, for letting us join this webinar session, and for allowing us to share information about MBS. Thanks to Xi for your participation in the recording, and for the Q&A. It's always nice to have a student coming from the same country to share their own experience. And again, I put the MBS website in Mandarin with a link in the chat box. So if you have any questions, you can always contact us through there.
Yes, definitely. Yeah. OK, so 好，那线上的朋友，如果您之后还有更多的问题想要询问 MBS， 或者是还有询问我们校友，就可以直接写信，或者是上我们的上学校的官网直接来跟学校联络。OK。Once again, thanks to Kara and also Xu for great information and introduction about the MBS tonight. Thank you for good luck to Xu's study. Yeah.
Thank you. Merci.
Okay, merci.
Bye.
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 Bye.